Hello everyone, my name is Lauren Bush. I am married to my high school sweetheart John, and I am the very proud mom of 9 beautiful souls. In my pre-doTERRA life, I was a medical ICU nurse. A majority of my patients were trached and ventilated, so you could say respiratory care is my specialty. Everything I want to share with you today applies whether you are tuning in as a doTERRA customer or if you have taken on the amazing title of Wellness Advocate. And what I share comes from the heart. I know that a big part of why I was asked to speak here today is because of my medical background. But for you to understand why this information is so important for you, I want to start off with sharing information and experiences that I have gained from my most precious title, and that is of mom. But don't worry, I'll put my practitioner's hat back on and we'll chat about research and health issues, and then I'm going to teach you how to use this information to better care for your families and set your business on fire. You ready? When my daughter Chloe was 9 months old, she was diagnosed with a severe respiratory issue. We thought we would figure things out fast, but that just wasn't the case, and ignorance is definitely not bliss. You see, the doctors didn't know what was causing her attacks. They didn't know why the medications didn't work. They didn't know what would happen if she stayed on the amount of medication that she was on and for how long she was going to need it. They even got to a point where they asked me what I wanted them to do for her. At the beginning of the journey, a friend asked if I was open to trying essential oils, but my ego totally got in the way. I thought, you don't know how sick my daughter is, and you don't know how smart I am. I'm a medical ICU nurse who specializes in respiratory care. If essential oils were going to help, my colleagues and I would have already heard of them. It took me 3 years of watching my daughter suffer until I came to the point of complete desperation when I finally agreed to try essential oils. Our very first essential oil experience made me an instant believer, but it was the lifestyle changes that made the greatest impact on our daughter's health. I'm ashamed to admit I had a very toxic routine. Now, for some of you, what I'm about to share might sound incredibly familiar. For my crunchy mamas, this might sound like something out of a horror movie, so just know I know better now. You see, when I woke up in the morning, my daily routine looked something like this. Each morning, I would light a couple of candles for the ambiance. Then I would go around and I'd check my plugins to see if any of the cartridges needed to be changed. I would then spray every soft surface in my home with a deodorizing spray. A couple times a week, I sprinkled carpet powder down because even my carpets had to smell good. When it came to the laundry, I chose my products based on how good my clothes smelled, not by how clean they came out of the wash. But my favorite trick for making my house smell good was when I went to make the beds. I would take a bottle of baby powder and I would sprinkle it all over the mattresses. I'd then put on the sheets and I'd pat the bed so the powder would kind of poof through because I love the way my kids would wake up smelling clean in the morning. I didn't know that what I was doing to make my house feel and smell like a home was causing the problems we so desperately looking for solutions for. So let's talk about the cause of most dis-ease. 2 of the biggest culprits are both because of lifestyle, nutritional deficiencies, and chemical exposure. Now, some might argue that genetics plays a role, but I want you to think of genetics like this. What was your grandmother exposed to when she was pregnant with your mother? And what was your mother exposed to when she was pregnant with you? Those exposures mess with your genetics. Now, what have you been exposed to in your lifetime that has turned some of your genes on or off? That is epigenetics. These 2 articles were published 1 year apart. The first saying women are putting an average of 168 chemicals on their bodies daily, and the second says 515. What is more startling than the increase in chemical exposures is the part of that second title that says without knowing. So what is the problem? This is the problem. There are over 40,000 chemicals used to formulate everyday household items, including cleaning products, laundry detergents, cosmetics, and toiletries, and so much more. The European Union has banned over 1,400 of them. But in Australia, there are no pre-market regulations that stipulate mandatory testing of chemicals prior to sale. Now, I want to step back into that practitioner's mindset and share what the research is saying about the health impacts of living in our toxic environments that we have created. Let's start with hormones. This is probably the aspect of chemical exposure that gains the most awareness, but least amount of respect for its importance. You see, hormones influence so much more than the one thing they always get blamed for, which is mood. They control our growth and development. Metabolism. Did you know that diabetes is a hormone imbalance? Sexual function and reproduction. Most of you have probably seen this exact picture of a cell in one of Dr. Hill's presentations on the power of phytoestrogens. What I'd like you to focus on, though, is the red dots, the xenoestrogens. Xenoestrogens is an umbrella term, meaning any chemical that imitates estrogens is called a xenoestrogen, and there are many different chemicals that fall underneath of that umbrella. Besides blocking off our estrogen receptor sites on our cells, xenoestrogens terrorize our bodies. Natural estrogen talks to our cells in a very civil voice, while xenoestrogens are frantic and they're screaming through a loudspeaker, which is part of why we act a bit irrational like this e-card, right? I don't think you understand how these hormones work. You're going to make me do something that ends up on the news. Those of you who are wellness advocates, are we really living up to that title if we only offer a solution to the problem, but we do not teach our friends and family about what is causing the very health problems that they are needing a solution to? I love our phytoestrogen complex, but we are also in need of teaching the importance of eliminating the xenoestrogens that we are being exposed to daily. This chemical is affecting our unborn babies. It's causing birth defects. It's causing infertility. It affects our developing teens. This is a huge part of the mental health epidemic that's sweeping the globe. It's a major cause and accelerator for breast cancer. And yes, this is causing men's health issues as well. When you compare the data, a 50-year-old man today might have the testosterone levels of a 70-year-old man in the 1950s. That's a 20-year swing in testosterone levels. Do you know what the mental and physical health impacts are of low testosterone for men? This is so much more than sex drive. It's depression, it's low energy, it's osteoporosis, it's poor concentration, decreased muscle mass, and increased body fat. No one is being spared. I could talk all day about research. There are tens of thousands of research articles that we could dive into about chemical exposures. It's been linked to rising rates in breast cancer, asthma, autism, anxiety, depression, infertility, birth defects, obesity, insulin resistance. It can even suppress your immune system or cause autoimmune disorders and many other health issues. Many chemicals in personal care products have never been tested for safety, and they also accumulate and interact in potentially harmful ways. For example, parabens. When you're exposed to certain xenoestrogens that on their own are dangerous, and then you're also exposed to a paraben, you amplify the damage. And then to top it off, these chemicals are being passed from mother to baby. Our babies are being born with hundreds of chemicals already accumulated in their bodies, and they still face a lifetime of exposure. Future generations have an even bigger battle ahead of them than we have ever had to face. So how do we help? Well, you can't avoid them all. Some of the most damaging chemicals are found in our carpeting, our vinyl flooring, the coating on wires, cables, shower curtains, raincoats, plastic toys, your car steering wheel, dashboard, gear shift, even our medical devices like IV tubing, and our food and water. So, unless we all run away to the jungle to live in a bamboo hut and we use swinging vines as our transportation, we can't get away from these items. But our bodies are screaming for help. It has become vital that we eliminate as much as possible. The excuse, it's too hard or it's too expensive, doesn't work anymore. Living with any of the health repercussions from a high toxic load is much harder and way more expensive than using natural products. Our home care and personal care are completely under our control. We have access to amazing doTERRA products to cover almost every aspect of our personal care and even cleaning our homes. If doTERRA doesn't have it, it is time to DIY. Now, I know at least a few of you out there just rolled your eyes and said in your head, I don't have time for that, or I'm not crafty. I would like to remind you, I have 9 kids. We homeschool and we run a doTERRA business. I can quickly make almost any DIY with 3 ingredients or less in an upcycled pickle jar. If you want something a little bit more luxurious than that, there are cute containers and labels out there, and you can add lots of extra ingredients. doTERRA has an amazing DIY blog. Check it out. They also have amazing videos on their YouTube channel that will actually guide you through the process of making your own recipes. Chloe's respiratory issues were just a small glimpse into the possible damage caused by the products that I unknowingly exposed my children to. I pray daily that I removed those products early enough that lasting damage wasn't done. I look forward to the day that my children choose to become parents and hope that I have not made that journey hard on them. I am teaching my daughters at a young age the importance of self-breast exams, and I take every opportunity I have to get essential oils on my kids, even if it is a simple, possibly sneaky swipe as they run out the door. Sometimes it looks like me coating my arms in one of our favorite oils from the kids line and pulling my children in for a big bear hug. As parents, we always wish our kids came with a parenting manual, and the kids line is our closest thing to it. Even after we brought doTERRA into our home, we still had many hard, sleepless nights with Chloe and even our other children at times. As a tired parent who has been caring for a sick child for many years, there is a whole new level of exhaustion that creeps in. It is not always easy to reach for a book in the middle of the night and try to put together an amazing oil combination that will be perfect for what your child needs right in that moment. But we did it. However, the ease and simplicity of the kids line means a lot less researching in the moments I need to reach for our oils as quickly as possible. It means we can reach for a few roller bottles and apply them and support our children physically, emotionally, and mentally all at once. Every time I roll these oils onto my kids, I roll them onto myself as well. It's just part of our routine. It means that we all get back to bed a little bit faster. And when we're out running errands, I can place these rollers in my purse and we still have these tools at our fingertips. I would like to invite all of you to imagine along with me. Imagine if all of your builders stopped building today, yet your volume didn't drop a single PV because your team had fully incorporated doTERRA into their daily, personal, and home care routines. Imagine if you didn't have a volume drop in January or this summer because your customers continued to brush their teeth, wash their face, and clean their homes, diffuse oils daily, and fully embrace a natural lifestyle. Imagine if doTERRA products become the non-negotiables in the budget because people truly understood the health consequences of choosing a chemical-laden product. Imagine if the focus shifted from find a cure to let's stop causing and contributing to the growth of disease in the first place. Imagine if parents were empowered with easy-to-use, simple, safe, effective solutions that were portable and supported their children's bodies through environments where toxin and environmental exposures were unavoidable. Here's how you do just that. Think of this as focusing on reducing your toxic load like an AED for your life and for your business. A is awareness. When you come across a health concern, whether your own diagnosis or someone reaches out for help, go type it into the search engine of your choice, the health concern and chemical exposures. For example, something like diabetes. Look up diabetes and chemical exposures. Then look up diabetes and nutritional deficiencies. What you learn, teach others. It does not matter whether you're doing doTERRA as a business or simply a customer. Sharing what you learn, sharing information that can help improve someone's health, that is what we do as family and friends. E, eliminate. It is time to get rid of the items you are learning are linked to the health issues you just researched. If you have not fully embraced the crunchy lifestyle, it is time. Your health and your family's health and even your business is literally depending on it. Your team will follow your lead and your team volume will follow that. Make it fun. Share what you learn. Have a contest with your team. Who has the most toxic products to clean out? Then D is doTERRAize. One of the reasons our team volume has been so rock solid, even when builders have quit, is because we do an education piece called Mastering Your Home, where we go room by room highlighting how easy and cost-effective it is to ditch the toxins and what they can switch the product out for. Right now we're hosting DIY Saturdays and they're open for everyone to learn. Keep it simple. Meet people where they are at in their journey. Allow them to take baby steps, but keep them moving. If someone had come into my house at the beginning of my doTERRA journey and tried to take all of my products away from me at once, I would have been extremely overwhelmed. You've probably seen some similar pictures floating around somewhere on social media over the last year with the debate of germ versus terrain theory. But I would like to relabel it. We're going to call it the doTERRA theory. So imagine a hiker is out exploring and they've crawled down a deep crevice and gotten hurt. You're out, you come across them, and you throw down a rope and help pull them out. Man, there's going to be a lot of tears of gratitude for you and that rope. But then you realize they're going to go right back down that same hole tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that. So you let them buy the rope from you. You help them tie it off, and you teach them how to use the rope so they can pull themselves back out of the hole whenever they want. When our family started on this journey, swimming around in a toxic environment, and the oils were a great lifeline, pulling us out of our hole. But day after day, we fell back in the hole as we continued to use the toxic products we had trusted. Now instead, I want you to imagine that you helped the hiker out of the hole, you taught him how to avoid falling into the hole ever again, but you still sold him the rope, and then taught them how to use that rope to climb mountains. Before we reduced our toxic load, our essential oil experiences were powerful. Since we have eliminated the toxic sludge from our home, our essential oil experiences have become profound. I like my products like I like my people, non-toxic. It is our job as consumers, as parents, as spouses to know what we are purchasing. Our responsibility as wellness advocates is to help teach others. Most people have no idea that they are causing the very health issues that they are looking for solutions for. I almost lost my daughter because even as a health professional, I didn't know. Making a commitment to understanding the health impacts of the products we use, doTERRorizing your home, and teaching others to do the same is going to amplify your impact and bring life back into your business. You do not need initials behind your name to make a massive impact on someone's health. The better job we do with educating on this topic, the healthier our families, friends, and businesses are. Let's do this.